Hi, I'm Greg Koch, and welcome to this installment of Jazzy Lines for the Blues Pig. Now, although the blues is an integral part of jazz, what has become blues guitar in the popular sense is a different language than that of jazz, as I'm sure jazz players will be quick to point out to you. That being said, most blues guitar players would like to have a little bit of jazzy lines or two in their arsenal. You know what I'm saying? But what happens is the use of chromaticism and arpeggios and other harmonic devices of the jazz musician sometimes intimidates the blues cat into a state of fright because it is something that their ear is not acclimated to, okay? So what I'm going to do here today is I'm going to give you a few morsels that I've stolen over the years or have mutated, which are pretty much immediately applicable to your blues arsenal. And you'll be able to grab them and use them and throw them in right away, I think anyway. So let's get started, shall we? We're going to be centered around the key of A, and A blues, and just kind of mess with it a little bit. It's right in the middle of the neck. It's a good place to be positioned, if you know what I'm saying. It's the people's key. You know what I'm saying? All right, whatever. Now, one of the first things that a blues cat can do to sound more jazzy right off the bat is to establish a good slide instead of a bend. And what I mean by that is like a blues guy will have a tendency to bend notes. And that kind of vibrato, as opposed to a jazz guy would... and more of a back and forth vibrato, which is not as throaty and succulent, but be that as it may. And one of the guys that you could listen to it, I certainly did, to try to get more of this kind of a blues jazz flair to the playing, is an individual by the name of BURRELL. A record called Midnight Blue is something that you should peruse in order to get a good idea of just the most awesome jazz guitar tone I think that there is. And he plays a lot of blues-oriented material on there and with a jazzy flair. So one of the things that he would do is like little slide licks, like... Let me do that again for you. 1, 2, 3. That's something I heard Hendrix do quite a bit on Electric Ladyland. He did some tunes with Mike Finnegan playing Hammond B3 organ on it. Still Raining, Still Dreaming is the tune that comes to mind. And he would do things that were very indicative of that. Let me do that one for you. 1, 2, 3. Gives you a little idea. This is just the blues scale, but just approaching it in a different way to sound more jazzy. One more little Kenny Burrell-ism I'll show you is this kind of a... Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. It's kind of a speedy little run, but it's good for you, especially this part. This. Oh, that's goodness. I think you will enjoy playing that one forever and ever.